You put 3.5 pounds.
And then that night was lobster tail night. And I got a prime rib and lobster tail for dinner.
Can I just live vicariously through you?
Yeah.
Can I just kind of just...
You look like it's cold out.
You're a half hour late, though. Yes, it was an early meeting.
But I want to thank you for volunteering for the committee chief.
You're all sick, Bill. No worries, no worries.
No? You want to say something? You're being too professional.
Recording in progress.
Good.
All right, welcome everyone. It's now 6:31 p.m. and I'd like to call to order the Fenton Township Board meeting on this Tuesday, the 20th day of January, 2026. I'd ask everyone to please stand for the opening prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Trustee Gopal, will you lead us?
Yes, sir, thank you. Dear Father, we gather here tonight to conduct matters of business. Guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. And as always, we thank you for being the source of our guidance tonight. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As always, thanks, Mark. Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Yes, Lorraine,
Present.
Reed,
Here.
Clark. Present. Kruger's present. Kessler.
Here.
Gopal.
Here.
And Tucker's late or absent?
Absent.
He's absent,
He
okay.
messaged me today and
Yeah,
said he would not be here.
6 members present.
All right, thanks, Bob. I'd like to also note for the record that we have our Township Attorney, Jack Belzer, our Operations Manager, Tom Broker, which is for the first time, from what I understand, since his tenure here at the Township. He's sitting in the back. Our Zoning Administrator, Mike Deem, our Fire Chief, Ryan Bolts, and our Assistant Manager, Megan Gito. This is not her first time up here, but welcome aboard. Looking forward to it. Additionally, the following township officials, no, they're actually here tonight. We have Melissa Lawrence here to give her report. So we have our township engineers present tonight, and they will also be giving a report later. Megan, will you detail the procedures for those attending tonight's virtual meeting?
Certainly. To members of the public attending tonight's meeting in person or via Zoom, please be advised that this meeting is being recorded to be shown on public access television, Spectrum Channel 191. Recorded meetings are also posted on the Fenton Area Community Television YouTube channel. For those attending via Zoom, we ask that you keep your microphone muted until we reach the portion of the meeting where the public comment is allowed. For tonight's meeting, no public hearings, therefore all public comment will be taken near the end of the meeting. The meeting materials are available for download on the Township's website, fentontownship.org.
Thanks, Megan. All right, moving on to the first business order is the approval of the agenda. Are there any requests to amend tonight's agenda? Hearing none, a motion is in order to approve the agenda as presented.
I will support a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Yes, Clark.
Yes.
I vote yes. Kessler.
Yes.
Tucker's absent. Gopal.
Yes.
Lorraine.
Yes,
Reed.
Yes.
Motion passes.
and the agenda stands approved as presented. Moving on to the meeting minutes. Included in the packet are the meeting minutes from the January 6th regular meeting. Are there any corrections or requested revisions to these meeting minutes? Hearing none, the meeting minutes stand approved as presented. Next business in order is expenditures. Are there any questions from the board regarding any of the invoices? Any questions? Treasurer Tucker usually has some. Looks like Megan did a great job putting everything together then. Okay, I will entertain a motion regarding the payment of expenditures totaling $423,255.42 for payment.
Support a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Yes, I vote yes. Clark.
Yes.
Kessler.
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Gopal.
Yes.
Tucker's absent. Lorraine.
Yes,
Motion passes.
and the expenditures stand approved as presented. All right, moving on to public hearings. Tonight we have, this is the 2026 local road improvement projects. We're conducting a public hearing tonight to obtain input from our residents regarding potential local road improvement projects for 2026. I'm sure everyone has reviewed the memo in the packet. So a listing of all the roads in Fenton Township is also included in the packet. Give you a little history is the township usually meets, Tom, myself, meet with the county to go over, and Lawrence Engineering to go over the roads. And a list is kind of put together. Once the list is put together, then it's sent to, or put together for the board to review, and then we have a public hearing. So that's where we're at right now. Megan, any details you'd like to add, or is that pretty much it?
That's pretty much it, unless anybody has any questions.
All right. Megan, do we have any written comments?
None.
None? All right, I will now open up the meeting for public comment. This is, again, just for potential local road improvement projects for 2026. Is there anyone that's attending tonight that would like to address the board? And again, just restricted to, limited to the road improvement projects for 2026? If so, I'd just ask you to step forward. All right, I would normally go to Zoom, but it looks like we are lonely tonight on the Zoom front. So I will, if there's nobody here present, and there's certainly not anybody here via Zoom, I will now close public hearing. Are there any questions or comments from the board? All right. Okay, the board will review all information from tonight's meeting and the recommendations from the county and bring a proposed local road improvement recommendation back to the board at a future meeting. All right, moving on to reports. We have 3 reports tonight. We're going to start off with the ordinance enforcement report. This is the 4th quarter. I'm sure we reviewed everything in our packet, including the report. Is there any questions or comments from the board? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to our township engineer update and report. We have Melissa Lawrence with us tonight. She will update us on township engineering.
Good evening. I'm Melissa Lawrence, Lawrence Engineering. This is just a quick quarterly report to bring you all up to speed with what you have going on engineering-wise. You've got 3 Fenton Township engineering projects going on. 2 are sanitary. 1 is water. The Tupper Lake one, of course, you all know, was awarded. That contractor is working to get started. He's been working with landowners, getting access to the site, both with Liberty Shores Homeowners Association, so that he's got access there, as well as there's 1 empty lot over there on the other side of the river there. The project is still scheduled to be substantially complete in October of this year. The Jennings Road is the other sanitary sewer project. That one we had to go back to the drawing board a little bit because we were working with Eagle to get wetland crossings. It changed our route a little bit. That's back with Eagle. In fact, it just went out for public comment. So once that comes back in, that should be ready to go real quickly. We have all the other permits. So that's still going to start spring this year, construction for that one. The water main project, we had, like with everything, there was changes on it. We're back to a 16-inch water main that'll go all the way from Ripley, Ralston, all the way down to the Chateau Deluxe subdivision. In running the model, we looked at doing a 12-inch down there, and we could get down there to the Chateau, to where this particular project ends, phase 4, and get fire flows and the pressures we needed. However, once we ran the model for the greater build out, if and when the township ever does do that, we need to make sure we can extend the water further, and the only way to do that economically smart, the way to go was to run the 16-inch. So those changes are already going back in. Still planned for this year start, probably spring, summer of this year. Then you have a couple special assessment projects. Those are both the subdivisions that are working to get connected to the public water. Glen Devon, landings at Cranes Cove. Glen Devon is substantially complete with their project in that the meter pit's in, all the water mains in, the testing's done, the chlorination, pressure testing, the testing to make sure the water's good. They are just waiting now. I think it's the end of January is when Consumers is going to come and run power to the meter pit, so they'll complete it at that point. They should be connecting to public water probably in February. Glen Devon, Landings at Cranes Cove, I just got an update from the contractor. They have the meter pit in and the public side of the water run. They still have to do the private side of the water main and get the contents of the meter pit in. They're looking at completing in February. And then, this is just an update of what we've been talking about. You have 4 current subdivisions under construction as far as houses being built. The West Winds, the construction in West Winds, as far as the homes right now, are still in phase 1. They have completed the infrastructure and the roads, everything in phase 2, so they can start building in phase 2. They just have not started homes there. I think they have 31 homes complete in phase 1 with 24 more homes under construction. So that's West Winds. The Glades, again, is basically complete phase 1. Phase 2 is now under construction for the infrastructure. They're putting in storm and sanitary out there. Cider Creek, that has a total of 20 homes, 20 new homes under construction with 9 complete, and that's between phase 1 and phase 2, which there's just 2 phases in there. And then the last one is the Fairways subdivision. They have 13 homes, new homes under construction with 13 complete. The other one, I guess, that I should mention is Brookwood, because that is another subdivision, the one that's proposed off of Laring, that does have all its approvals. However, they have not started construction. They're delayed. I don't know the reason. They are working still to just keep up with their requirements for their soil erosion. So I don't have any updates on what or when they're planning on doing it. In the other category, Miller Industries has their full occupancy for the warehouse, and they're working to get full occupancy for the office space, bringing in fixtures and all that good stuff, getting all their approvals, and their plan is to get full approval, full occupancy for the office space by the end of January. And then lastly, I guess it's just a quick update, because I do talk to them periodically, but in talking to, last week I talked to the Lake Fenton schools. Their comment is they're just very happy with the quality of the water that they're getting. So, any questions?
I have a question. Going from a 12 to a 16 down to Chateau, is there going to be a tank there, or is it all static from the water tower all the way down to Chateau?
At this point, not a tank, but
16-inch, the static of that will obviously go up with a bigger main, so.
that's correct. Yep, we have enough. The model shows that we have.
All the way to Thompson and Fenton, all the way down to Chateau.
Well, they are at the same time that the county is working on a project where they are upgrading their booster station on Fenton Road, north of, I don't know if it's in Mundy Township or Grand Lake
Not in
Township.
Fenton. Do we have any
No,
boosters
but
at all?
that booster station
Yeah.
will help our pressures also. And they're doing more storage up there too. So it does all affect.
So how does that affect the pressures if we're getting from the tower?
Well, we're not just getting it from the tower.
Oh,
The
we're
tower
not?
is redundancy.
Oh,
Nope.
I did not know that, okay.
Yep.
So the closest booster is up in Mundy or Grand Blanc.
Yeah, and I'm saying it wrong. I don't know where, but it's
No,
up north
we don't
on
have
Fenton
any.
Road, kind of where 475 goes across. Is that right?
Really?
Yeah, and there is one there now. They're just upgrading it. We do not have any booster stations. We will for the, if you all, shouldn't say that, if you all decide to increase, to continue distributing water, at some point, you're gonna need a booster station.
That's cheaper than another tower.
You might need both. They do different things, pressure and just having enough flow.
And that was like the 3rd iteration, right?
I'm sorry.
Third
Yeah,
iteration, didn't we
yes.
go here, started at a 16, went down to a 12, because we were gonna kind of work with Linden, and then we went back to a 16. What's nice about it, for the rest of the board, is that if we would've stayed with a 12-inch, it would've been a dead pipe at the end. We could've, so if any other residents would've requested water in that area, we couldn't have done it. So during this engineering process, when the models were run, that we could've put the pipe in, but it would've been essentially just been a dead head.
Isn't it now anyway?
No, we'll be able to expand on it.
No, right, you can keep going. If it was a 12, you couldn't have gone any further. And the
So it's
difficulty,
18 to 12, is that double?
well, it's a 12 to
12 to
16.
16.
No, not quite double,
Not quite double?
no. And you, I mean, you're an unusual township in that, you know, the way the township is, you have the Linden blocks portion, I mean, the water goes through there, but, and the city of Fenton also. So your paths, you know, to get to your south border is limited, so.
That's what we're bringing down Ripley.
That's right. Yep.
Melissa, thank you very much for giving us the quarterly report. I'm sure the board appreciates it as well as I do. All right, moving on to our last report tonight is our zoning administrator's report. This is the December report along with the year end.
So December, we had a planning commission meeting and a zoning board meeting. Planning commission granted final site plan approval for Wakeside Marina on Torrey Road. They're doing an expansion of their business there. It's back behind the daycare, so you can't really see it from Torrey Road. But it's just for working on boats and part of their existing business. Zoning board denied a front yard setback variance for a detached garage over in Liberty Shores. Also giving you guys the annual report. Since we started doing monthly reports, just go over the highlights for that. I think the big thing with the department this year was we ended up creating the Parks and Recreation Board. Right, so we started doing meetings there. We're working on updating the Parks and Rec plan, doing a feasibility study for potential uses for the Thompson Road Park. As you guys recall the last meeting, right, Planning Commission worked on a chicken and duck ordinance, right? That was adopted. Melissa just went over a lot of the site plans that the Planning Commission's been working on. Other big things to give an update on, began enforcement of short-term rentals this year, right? We issued one special use permit and one administrative use permit for short-term rentals. We had complaints basically on Harp Drive, and once they went through their appeal process, the complaints stopped. So compared to years past, the number of complaints we've had for short-term rentals has basically decreased to just the issue we had on Harp Drive. Other thing is, from the building department standpoint, we are continuing to look through our processes and applications, trying to make things easier and more understandable for the public. So we'll be seeing some updates to our applications, hopefully in the early year. But that's the quick update for 2025.
Any questions, comments from the board?
You haven't had to go out and count chickens yet, right, Mike?
I did get my first application today.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we got our first one today.
Yeah, they're not doing it yet, but they want to just make sure they got everything set so that when it does get warm enough to be outside, that they can do it, so.
Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
We
Good job.
appreciate it. Are there any committee reports to be made to the board this evening? Hearing none, we'll move on to communications. We have none this evening. Adoption of ordinances, none, and unfinished business, none. Move on to new business. Tonight we have the proposed website accessibility upgrade from Audio Eye. Megan, will you review?
So basically, the U.S. Department of Justice had finalized the ADA compliance regulations for state and local governments, and websites, apps, and digital services need to be accessible to people with disabilities, whether those are visual, auditory, mobility, cognitive. And Audio Eye is an all-encompassing tool that allows us to be in compliance. They keep us in compliance rather than having someone on staff have to keep our website into compliance. So we are required by that statute to be in compliance with those regulations by April 26th of 27. But doing this early give time to troubleshoot any problems. And then as far as the cost, it is $21,011.86, but $18,400 of that is coming from a community development block grant funding. So the township is only responsible for $2,611.86. And so then that contract is for 4 years and would be added to our existing Civic Plus contract because they host our website.
Going forward.
Going forward, yes.
Great job. All right. Any questions or comments from the board?
How long do they estimate it'll take to get it up and running? Is that easy?
I think it is in our contract as far as getting it up and running.
I'm sure we're well in advance.
We're well in advance, yes.
Yeah, 2027 is,
We don't have to do
we
it
have to
until
be in
2027.
compliance.
Right, so we have.
Tom, did you speak to anybody about time frame on that?
It's not in the proposal, then I would assume it's just
Okay,
a
yeah.
matter of scheduling the implementation. I would not expect it to take long.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Okay, I'll entertain a motion regarding the Civic Plus proposal for the Audio Eye website accessibility upgrade as presented.
I'll make a motion to support.
Second?
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Yes, Reed,
Yes,
Gopel,
Yes.
Tucker's absent, Kessler,
Yes.
Lorraine.
Yes.
I vote yes, Clark. Yes. Motion passes.
Thanks, Bob. All right, next under new business is a FOIA coordinator appointment. We've all reviewed the memo in the packet, and myself and Tom believe that Megan is the person for this job going forward. So, do we have any questions or comments from the board? I truly support her being in this position, so. All right. I will entertain a motion regarding the designation of Assistant Manager Megan Gito as the Fenton Township FOIA Coordinator as presented.
Motion to approve.
And I'll second that for sure.
All right. Motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Clark,
Yes.
Kessler.
Yes.
I vote yes, Gopel.
Yes.
Tucker's absent, Lorraine.
Yes.
Reed.
yes,
Motion passes.
Thanks, Bob. All right, next on our new business is joint open house. Mike, will you come up and kind of explain to the board what we're looking for? We want a township board and planning meeting, so.
So similar to last year, Planning Commission held a joint open house with Township Board. We invited the public and gave an opportunity to have people come in and speak to elected officials and appointed officials, right? And last meeting with the Planning Commission, they were going over their work plan, identifying things that they wanted to do this year, and one of the things that came up was they would like to do that again. I have an opportunity to mix and mingle with you guys, mix and mingle with the residents, give them, anyone who wants an update about what they've been working on, what they're looking at, and just have, you know, a opportunity to just have everyone speak to each other. So they kind of left up the date to you guys, right? Because it's important that we find a date available for the board, and the Planning Commission can make their schedule work. I suppose it's possible if you wanted to do it during a Planning Commission meeting, right? Or a Wednesday. So I'll leave the date up to you guys to figure that out.
What month were you thinking?
Sooner rather than later.
Is the public welcome?
Oh, yeah, that's what we're
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
do.
it's an open meeting.
I didn't think so.
What do you think, do it before a before a meeting, before their meeting, or is that what
In
you're
lieu of
thinking?
a
Or
meeting.
yeah, in lieu of a meeting is what I was thinking, because they're already gonna be there,
Yeah,
so.
so Planning Commission meets the second and fourth Thursday at 6 o'clock.
Last year we did it during our meeting, right?
I feel like it was like a Wednesday or something last year.
Yeah, I don't think it was,
Here,
I
let's
don't ask.
see if I can figure this out for you. It was January 22nd last year, so
so let's look at February. What's their schedule in February?
the 12th and 26th.
I can do the 12th.
February 11th, February 12th. Well, yeah, so you're saying in lieu of that 6 o'clock meeting, have it at the same time? I'm available. Well, the next day is Valentine's Day, so I'm sure will anybody be gone for Valentine's Day?
The 12th.
No, I mean, 14th, so, somebody's gonna be gone, maybe they're gonna be gone a couple of days.
I'll start.
Okay,
you said it was the next
I
day.
got it. Nobody's taking their better half anywhere, okay?
Where do you
Got it.
want it to take us all?
I'm fine with that date. Is everybody okay with that date?
I am okay with the 12th.
All right, I'll let the Planning Commission
Let's,
know
let the commission know.
Thursday. Yep.
All right, so we're gonna agree on that. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to schedule a joint meeting on of the Fenton Township Board and the Planning Commission to be held on Thursday, February 12th at 6 PM.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Yes, Gopel,
Yes.
Tucker's absent, Lorraine.
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
I vote yes, Reed,
Yes,
Kessler.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, Mike, will you send out an invite to the board once the planning commission approves that?
Yeah, I'll do it Friday morning.
All right, thanks. All right, moving on to the next, under new business, is a request for authorization to apply for a TAP grant, Lake Fenton Trails. And Mike's gonna explain that.
Yeah, so, the township and different boards and bodies have been working on a parks or a trail plan, right? And one of the key goals that the Parks and Rec board has put together and the planning commission through the master plan process has put together and discussions with department heads and discussions with Vince, discussion with community leaders is we want to connect the schools with pathways. What those pathways, what manner that takes, well, that's something we're going to work out, right? That doesn't necessarily have to be a 10-foot wide pathway. It could be a 6-foot pathway. It could be a 4-foot sidewalk, depending on the location. So besides just the township, right, we've been working with Lawrence Engineering, right, the Genesee County Metropolitan Planning Commission, right, we have MDOT, we have the Road Commission, and some private groups are involved with this project also, right? And it's not just a township project, it's actually part of a greater county project. But where we're at and what we're asking for is authorization to apply for an MDOT TAP grant, right? And generally, this would fund between 70 and 80% of the project. Now, we don't know exactly how much that project is, and we don't need to know that at this time. We're not asking you to approve any funding at this time, right? We're just asking to do those next steps to get that application in so we can determine what the costs are. It will come back to the board, at that time to make a real decision. But this is to get the word out and allow us to get that application in so we can apply for that federal money, determine what the funding level will be and what our funding sources for the project will be. There's going to be a gap, but it's not necessarily going to be filled by the township, right? I just listed a whole number of other groups that are involved with this project, and to get their funding, we have to go through this process. So, application is due in like 2 weeks. County is ready to make that application, but we need your authorization tonight for that.
Thanks, Mike. That was well presented. Does anybody on the board have any questions, concerns, comments?
No, I think it's a great idea. Good place to start.
Well, it's been worked on, Mike, for
Couple of years.
a couple of years now, and it's just been kind of low, just everybody's working on it now. It's become countywide, but the pet project for this township, I think, is connecting our 4 schools. I've told everybody here that when I was in school, I walked in the snow, everything else, and it was some of the best, I built my best friendships walking to school, and I'm hoping that we don't have that opportunity here for our kids, and I think this is one of the best things that this board will be doing in the future is, and the goal is, if I can just kind of speak out, the goal is that we will be able to connect every municipality within Genesee County in the next 5 years with a bike path, and no one will live farther than 1 mile from the trail. That is the goal. There is a large sum of money that's been set aside for this project, so not only are we going to be looking for grants and everything else, but it's going to be the type of thing that will be knocking on local businesses and everything else to get this thing done. So hopefully they'll be done with everybody's money but ours. But I can't promise that, but it'll be worked on. So anyway, any other questions or comments from the board? All right. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to authorize, oh, by the way, thanks, Mike. No, well done. I will entertain a motion to authorize Fenton Township and Lawrence Engineering to work with the Genesee County Metropolitan Planning Commission and MDOT to submit a TAP grant application for the Lake Fenton Trail as presented.
I'll support a motion to approve.
Second?
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the board?
Kessler,
Yes.
I vote yes. Reed,
Yes.
Lorraine,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Tucker's absent. Gopal,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thanks, Bob. All right, moving on to board comment. Is there anyone on the board that has additional comments or concerns? Hearing none. We're coming to the tail end of this long meeting. Public comment. This is on agenda or non-agenda items. I will now open up the meeting for public comment on agenda or non-agenda items. Is there anyone here present tonight that would like to address the board on agenda or non-agenda items? Go ahead, sir. I'll start to the left.
Thank you.
All I need is your name.
My name is Larry Snell. I live at 3050 Ralston Road, the section between Torrey and the freeway. Contrary to popular belief, I do not own that road, I just have an easement to it. I have brought to the attention of this fine gentleman back here, several weeks ago, when we had those high winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour on Sunday, the 28th. If you remember, on Torrey Road, you were out of power for 5 hours. And then there was a section of homes on Torrey north of Ralston that were out of power because of a dead tree that has fallen. When consumers went through and put these new power lines in on Ralston Road, they only cut live trees. They did not cut any of the dead wood that has been there for God knows how long. And I've lived there for 30 plus years. I've never met the homeowner. I don't know who's responsible for this, but it's clearly not on my property. But now it's become a hazard. And I even brought it to the attention of the work crews that were there on Monday, the 29th. Because there's one tree at that time that has over a 2-foot diameter, over 40 or 50 foot tall, that is leaning towards those power lines again. And another tree has caught it. So when these, it's not a matter of if it's going to go, it's a matter of when it's going to go, and it's going to take the power out again, which your fire marshal can attest to. This happened back on the 25th of August, I believe it was, the 28th of August of 2024. Torrey Road had to be shut down. This went on for quite a few number of hours. I believe you had to have somebody, if it wasn't yourself, was stationed there up until the dark because the power lines were still live. These lines not only go across Ralston Road, they go across the freeway. They intersect with North Road. They supply the rest stop. So when these wires go down, it takes out a big area. And it takes a while to shut that section down in multiple places for them to start repairing it, which again, your fire marshal and also the sheriff's department can attest to because they have to be there also. I'm sorry I don't have information for everybody, but I have a packet here showing the trees in question. I don't know what else to do. I brought it to the attention. We got a form letter that's there from consumers, basically, in my opinion, blowing us off, saying they'll get to it when they get to it. But the thing is, when they get to it is when the power's out. And that's not right, because this is going to take out a lot of power again, just like it did back in August. And it's happened before that, too. This is just an occurring problem because they will not cut dead wood. They will only cut live wood. Unless the power's out, and then they'll cut dead wood. This has an opportunity. These are dangerous. That tree is leaning, and it has since fallen even more. So it's just a matter, I can't say how long, but it is going to go. And it's going to take out the power.
Well, Larry, I can't tell you, all I can tell you is that we don't have any control over consumers.
I understand.
But I will tell you this, I will make the call. Now, what they say to me and the urgency they feel, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't have any control over.
I understand that. I just wanted to bring it to more people, their attention, that I also went through and marked all these trees in bright orange paint that are dead, especially the one that's cracked. Now that's over a 20-degree angle right now, and the tree that's holding it is less in diameter, and it is also cracked. So if we get another high wind, that's going. Taking out the cable, taking out the power, shutting down Torrey Road. It's as simple as that. You know, and all they need to do is just come in and take care of that.
Melissa? Maybe from your side, is there anybody that I could call, consumers? I know you and I have conversed about this so many times. Do you have an address?
I live on 3050 Ralston Road.
Where that would be, somewhere near, so it's near you?
Oh, yes, this is on Ralston Road.
Our engineer's taking account of your address, and I will give, actually, what I'll do is I'll have trustee Clark give you back those photos, and you can give them to our engineer.
Alrighty.
Her and I will have a conversation tomorrow, and we'll work out a plan.
No.
I'm not gonna tell you anything's gonna
I
happen.
just wanted to make people aware, because this is gonna happen again, and this isn't the first time, and it is a big deal.
Well, we're glad you're involved.
Are you the only house on the Ralston there?
Pardon? Yes, I am the only one. I live way in the back,
Yeah, I
closer
see
to
it
the
right by
freeway.
highway.
And again, I don't own Ralston Road.
Right.
I just have a right-of-way or an easement.
And those are in the right of way, they would be because of the power.
Do they plow the road?
No, I've been maintaining it myself as best I can. So I shovel it, I grade it, as best I can.
Not your road, but it's,
Yes,
what you can do, okay, I got it.
pretty much it has been, but it's not. And I'm not bringing it up because of the, who's responsible.
Understood.
I'm bringing it up because this is going to affect a lot of people when it goes out again. As fire marshal and the sheriff, you can go back on their records and check. This is not a small project,
Well, we appreciate it.
all right?
I'll make the call and we'll talk about it with Melissa.
Good luck.
Yeah. All right, is there anyone else in attendance that would like to address the board on agenda or non-agenda items? Good evening.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
Hi, I'm Crystal Payne, and I live right here in Fenton Township. And last April, my business partner and I purchased the Chase Bank, right on 14206 North Fenton Road. It's 6 acres right there. It's a beautiful property. Our goal is to create a 55 and older community, to repurpose the clubhouse and put some little, almost like wisteria lane type houses on the front portion as well in the back. It's full of wetlands. We've done surveys, wetland studies. We're working with Kincaid Building Group, Fun Architecture, Fenton Land and Survey. We've been working on this project, but we need one thing: water. So I'm here to bring it to your attention that I would love for water to come down Fenton Road, so I could make this happen. It's a huge hangup. You know, there's wells in that area. They fail on different sides of the road. So, speaking with Kincaid, the builder, Ryan Kincaid, just the wells, if we put in multiple wells, it's not gonna work. So I need public water, so you will be hearing from me hopefully, but I wanted to bring it to your attention, so.
Crystal, where exactly is it, Fenton and?
So it's right by, just south of Skipper Bud's, right over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember the Chase Bank?
Yes, the old Chase Bank.
Got
Chase
it, that's
Bank.
the one that sits back.
Yes.
Off the road.
It's,
Got it.
it's a bank, but, I mean, the use of it was wasted as a bank. And unfortunately, when we did purchase the building, they won't let us use it for any type of financial services for the next 10 years. They won't even have us have a 7-Eleven, because you would have an ATM machine there. So we're limited in the use, yes.
Well, Crystal, you and I have met, and
Yes.
we've talked, and I like the concept. I think, number one, I think this township needs something like that. I love the restricted age type of thing, and everything else. But you and I have had conversations, depending on where the hotel goes, we're gonna be bringing water down there.
Yeah.
It's just, the economics of it all, and, I think this board would agree. It's just gonna, we're gonna take a look at it. It's gonna be all about dollars, what it's gonna cost to bring it down there. And I think we all would love to see, I don't know about the rest, but you have a beautiful concept. But again, it's all gonna come down to the dollars and cents. So I will stay in touch with you as soon as we get more on, we're calling that phase 5, right, Melissa? Phase 5 of the water. Once that, I understand that the hotel's still moving forward, so as soon as that gets finalized, then we know that the water's there, and what we would have to do is start looking into what it would cost to bring it down there. And I've told you, we are also I'm talking to the city all the time
Right.
to see if I can get the city to work with us on that. And if we do, if we could get that partnership, Lynn, Sue, that it would cost a lot less, because it would have to be a larger pipe, they would share in that cost. So it is something we're working on.
Okay.
So thank you.
And I'm also, I live on Lake Valley, so I mean, I'm right there as well. So I mean, as a homeowner and as a business owner, I mean, I'm all for it, so.
What type of services were you providing for seniors again?
So I would like to do a 55 and older community where, like the clubhouse, the existing Chase Bank, you almost turn into a clubhouse. So you can bring in doctors, you can bring in a barber, you can have, you know, euchre nights, you can do things that if you didn't want to leave the it's 5.92 acres. So if you didn't want to leave that little area, you don't have to. We would put in a little general store. Obviously, this is all zoning and permitting and all that. But we want to do walking trails. There's a runner's club around Lake Fenton. We will incorporate that. I mean, we want to do a little dog park, you know, within the area, or within, you know, just the wetland area, because we can't build on the wetland. So we want to do walking trails. I mean, we have so many concepts, but it can't happen without water. So I'm just going to keep bringing it to your attention.
Well, it'll be I think it'll be, I mean, it's gonna eventually happen, I believe, but
Yeah.
not as quick as you probably anticipate.
Right.
But, you know, like Supervisor Vince said, that it's all about the economics.
Right. No, I understand, but I also understand that some of the residents, you know, that are on Lake Fenton, I mean, those houses are just, you know, on top of each other, as we all know, and it's a beautiful area, but when a well fails, you know, what do you do if there's no other alternative? So, you know, it's,
Yeah, you
It-
mentioned the wetlands.
Yeah.
And there is wetlands in there, and if you're gonna build, you gotta be really careful there, because I've seen it flood, you know, in that area.
yeah.
And so any future build could potentially be a problem.
Yeah, we've done, you know, extensive work with the, you know, Fenton Land and Survey, like I said, and the wetlands and soil. And we have done our due diligence with that, even before we purchased the building. I mean, which, if you all know, the Chase building, I mean, it was for sale for over a year. We had it under contract for over a year. So it was quite the process, so. And it was already last April, so
Well, best of luck.
just taking a
for
long
sure.
time. Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. I
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much.
Is there anybody else? Good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for hearing me. My name is Mike Zopp. I'm with Domico Med Device. We are located at 14241 Fenton Road. We've been in the community for a number of years. We've been under Domico for about 8 years now. And I'm here tonight, Ms. Payne, to request your attention to bring water to the southeast corner of the township. We are on a well system at our location, and the challenge that we encountered 2 years ago was with our insurance. The standards for insurability of the type of production that we run at our facility changed, and it became very difficult for us to get coverage without upgrading our fire suppression system. So we are in need of a municipal water system in order to make it a little bit affordable for us. We still have to make a huge investment to upgrade our distribution system inside the building, but the supply side needs to be upgraded as well. So I understand that it's on the table or in the future, and I would very much appreciate it if we could somehow speed it up, so it would be down to our section of the township.
Anything else? Any questions for Mike? Well, Mike, you and I have had several
Yep.
conversations, and I love knocking on doors, and I'm knocking on doors all the time. Senator Peters' office, I mean, Slotkin, all of them, and, you know, that's, going through that appropriations process, grant process, it takes a long time, but Mike and I are relentless in going out there to try to procure these funds, because, these are the type of things that we expect our government to do, is to come and assist in infrastructure projects, to put, to build the big things that our residents can't afford. You can't afford a $2 million pipeline to run to your business. The economies don't work.
Right.
But we are out there. This board is out there working all the time to make sure that we can find as much money that's out there and make sure that we get it before anybody else does. So, as a board, we are working, but there's only so much we can do.
All we can ask is for the support, so.
Well, we'll get it there as soon as we can.
The Sooner the better.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate the time.
Thanks,
Thank you.
thanks, Mike. Anybody else? Sorry to put you last, I started on the left, I usually start on the right.
Oh, it's no problem. Being last is not bad.
No, it's actually good.
It's good. Good evening. My name is Lena Stamos, and I'm a candidate for the 67th 4th District Court in Fenton. I'm currently a prosecuting attorney, and I have been for over 10 years. Most of my practice has been being a trial attorney, so I've tried cases involving child abuse, domestic violence, as well as many serious cases, including district court cases, which is what the district court handles, misdemeanors and felony preliminary exams. I've done hundreds of exams and misdemeanors. The reason I'm running is because I've been a public servant my whole career, and I'd love to continue my public service in my community as your district court judge. In terms of information about me, I am a longtime resident of the district. I've been in Grambling Township, and before that, Fenton Township. I am a mother of two, a 2-year-old and an 8-year-old. I am also a wife. I've been engaged in our community through my kids' school, at the Grambling schools, in the PTA. I've been a big sister with the Boys and Girls Club. I've had several little sisters over the years where mentored them and done activities. On the state bar's criminal law and jurisprudence committee, so I try to stay also in the legal profession and keep up to date. I've been a contributor to many Michigan drunk driving laws articles, and I've been published in that area. I also am on the board of the Arab American Heritage Council of Flint, and I am a mentor for something called Higher Autism. Essentially, it mentors individuals who have autism in any profession that they're interested in, whether it's through the interview process or just going over a resume. My 8-year-old son has autism, so that's something that's near and dear to my heart, and I want to be an ally for the autism spectrum community. So with that being said, I care a lot about my community. I care a lot about the legal profession, and I'm running for judge because I want to be in this community, and I want to serve in public service in this way. I'm here tonight just to introduce myself, to say hello. Of course, as I get to know all of you, I would love to have your support for this position. So I just wanted to introduce myself tonight, say hello. I'm also gathering signatures to get on the ballot, so if anyone's interested in signing, I do have those sheets with me. So I just wanted to say good evening and nice to meet all of you.
You knocked it out of the park, Lena.
Thank you.
Very nice to
Thank
meet you.
So
Very nice to meet you. Any questions at all for Lena?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else here in attendance that would like to address the board on agenda or non-agenda items? All right, hearing none, I'll close. We do not have anyone that has joined us via Zoom tonight, which is very rare. So if there's nothing else, it is now 7:18 p.m. If there's nothing else, I say good night. The meeting is adjourned.
Good job.
Recording stopped.